Hey guys, it's Yo again. I'm going to go over some more stuff today. Now remember, this is actually my 931 account, so I'm doing some dailies here, but again, it's not my main account. I'm not doing everything by the book, so take that into account and don't necessarily follow everything I'm doing here. So I left off with 581 making the decision to fly to 491. The 491 story is a really long story. But when we first got there, actually, I was the first to get there, besides obviously Fed Up. But I took my main account and left my farm that was R5 of the FU2 Alliance. And I flew my main to 491. I was the first, and I showed up about 4 a.m. My time. I'm Central Standard Time. And Duck Mail Uno let me in. And whenever we were kind of chit-chatting, and here comes Fed about, and he was like, I had to take a 5 a.m. shot. He's East Coast. And Duck was joking about, you never stop drinking, do you? Well, come to find out he was taking a shit, not a shot, which is also weird. Who takes a shit at 5 a.m.? That's weird. Anyway, so we got there very shortly after I arrived. DeWeld came, and DeWeld was like a brother. DeWeld was like a brother to me, and we fought like brother and sister too if we disagreed. But that's just how it was. DeWeld, he was kind of in a weird situation at the moment. Whenever we were in 581, he lost access to his main account. He didn't have it bound to a social media, so he lost that account and then had to start a farm. And because we were so big and in such high demand, he actually had to go and sit in the Farm Alliance in FU2. So he was made R4 over there because he was over there by himself a lot of times while we were over in FUC doing our main accounts. And he actually was probably the second 581 FUC to fly over to 491. And when we got there, we were getting the hive ready for the people that were flying in. As they were getting their tickets, they would fly in. Our diplomat in 581, his name was Fly Eagles Fly. We just called him Fly. And he was getting everybody set up and making sure they had tickets and having them go over to 491. And then I was letting them in as they were coming in. So we were making sure that they had a spot in the hive and everything. And there were these huge, like, level 50 layer hives and blocking people from coming in and sitting down. So DeWeld goes into the state chat and he's like, hey, can anyone help us clear these layers? Well, they had new pirates that were down by the mud. And of course, FUC wasn't by the mud. We were, in the FUC spot down by the level 5s and 6s. And the pirates answered and they were like, what'll you give us for that? And DeWeld said, I'll give you feet pics. So they were like, okay, sure. They go and they clear the lair, and then they immediately turned around and stole, I think it was the time turner one. They stole an SWP from Daphne. And we had to go to Discord and be like, hey, we need help. They stole a weapon. And we learned our lesson that day. You don't make deals with pirates because they will always do something. But they were claiming that we didn't make our payment, and so that was their reasoning behind taking the weapon. So anyway, we had a lot of fun. We came into 491, and they were really, really nice there and had a lot of fun. It was way different than 581. In 581, it was, we were always having to fight with everyone and try to, please let us in to let us do Wasteland King. And in 491, we were tiny. I mean, I think I was 80 million mite, and they just let me in, no problem. And I went and occupied towers for Wasteland King and all that stuff. So Dwelled and I were mesmerized by this. And of course, we would go to Discord and be like, y'all aren't going to believe this. You need to hurry, get over here. It's way, way better, even with the pit and the arena not being as easy to win. The atmosphere was so much more fun and less like dramatic bullshit that it was just, it was like night and day. It was like rainbows and unicorns and magical, doing the hide and seek stuff for boxes and playing, having fun. And it really kind of helped everybody to hurry up and get their tickets and get out of there. And we were just waiting for everyone to get there. So, just the memory of that is, you can't beat it. It was probably the best part of the game in the beginning, and we've been chasing that high ever since. Now, when everybody started being in 491, when most of everybody had flown out, Fly let everybody know that he didn't actually plan to come with us, and that was also really sad. Fly was my original cohort in crime. So I don't even know how to explain how that makes you feel when you've been, at this point, maybe 6 months of playing, and then to find out he wasn't going to stay with us. That kind of sucked. But what ended up happening was Jonah came over from 581, and Jonah had a really funny story. She was in 581, she was the R5 of another alliance, and one of our players was out hunting one day and hit another player named Cheese Dip, was attacking them for the resources, and Jonah came up and just beat the ever-living shit out of him. And obviously we found out that you don't mess with anybody that Jonah is in charge of. So we, at that point, we had Butcher go and talk to Jonah, and she made the decision to merge with Fuck. And her and Cheese Dip came and joined us in 581, and then eventually flew to 491. And we ended up making Jonah our diplomat. So she was the new diplomat once Fly decided not to come with us. And she did a great job. She handled all the state stuff, and all of the water war naps and all that kind of stuff. So that was a huge help. And then, of course, we had to say goodbye to Fly and handle that. Just it's emotional whenever somebody that you've come to respect decides to leave the team. But we handled it, and we went on and did our thing. In the meantime, we still had our alliance in 581. I had my farm there, and I had actually given the FU2 shell to another player. And Fed advised me against that. And it's funny because it's actually still there. If you look at 581, there's an alliance there called JFF, and that was originally the FU2 hive that I gave to that player. His name was Demonize, and he turned it into an alliance, and they're still there. I don't know what they do, but that was the alliance I created for Fuck to be the farm alliance.